rock and roll.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening.
Wow,
Sorry, I was a little late. I do apologise. For some reason, my speakers weren't working. What's going on here? What is going on? Enzo, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we good.
Loud and clear. Nah, man. Still recovering from last night wild takes, but all well and good. Had a great day at work. It's all good, man. I'm here.
Yeah, last night's show. If you didn't watch it, guys, make sure you go back and watch it later or something. Yeah, last night's show was great, man. One of the better ones. Good debate show. Some wild takes, as N says. Some, I think most of them are wild takes, to be fair. But yeah, a lot of wild takes. But look, this is the call-in show. I know a lot of you guys in the chat last night had things to say, so we'll get you on, guys, soon as well. We'll do it a little bit different. We're going to do it one at a time this time because when it's me and Ends, we can do it one at a time. When it's me on my own, it's easier to get you on as a group, but we all talk over each other. So we'll go one at a time, do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll get you guys in a bit. But Ends, pre-season is upon us. Excited, my friend?
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Was the first game 19th?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what I really love as well, Jamie, is that normally we have half the team come back at the first initial stage, and the second lot comes back a week, 2 weeks later. I think I can't remember if there's anyone really missing from the core group now. I think everyone's been back, if not day one, day two.
Only Cole will because he ain't signed yet.
Maybe Lavia that everyone else wants as well. So, but no, it's great, man. If everyone's back from day one, it means the group can really kind of gel together again and kind of work on the things that we need to work on going into the season. So, yeah, man, it's good, man. It's good.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I mean, as you say, usually when we come back pre-season, we've had a World Cup or a Euros, ain't we? Or an Olympics, or something's happened where, for some reason, we can't have our whole team there. I swear we're the only Premier League club that has that problem as well.
Yeah, it's like we always have. I know last season we went away on the first tour, and then they all joined up most of the boys joined up on the second tour.
Yeah,
when we went to like Austria, when we normally do that. Is it Austria we normally go?
We went. I think we went Singapore first, didn't we?
Yeah.
Then we ended up in Austria to finish off.
And then that's when everyone kind of came into the team. All the injured boys that was injured kind of came back in. But everyone's, you know what I mean? Everyone's fit, man. Bar Thiago, he's the only one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why people ask in the chat, though, Thiago's still recovering from his hip surgery. So he'd be fine. He'd be fine. Get another hip surgery and get another hip injury in October, but it's what it is. No bad juju today. No bad change.
Yeah, no.
Right. No, look, I'm happy with pre-season. I can't wait for it. I'm actually looking forward to this pre-season for the first time in quite a while because I'm looking at the fixtures and we've got actually some good games. We got Kolstra at German club on Wednesday the 19th. Then we've got, is it Firth? It's pronounced, another German club on the 24th of July. Then we got Leicester City on the 30th of July. And then on the 2nd of August, my birthday, we've got Bayern Munich.
Oh, hey.
And then we finish off with our last game against Darmstadt. On the 8th of August, all ready for that game against Chelsea on the 13th of August on the Sunday kickoff. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pre-season games ends. Do you think that's enough?
I would have added one more, but I think with the time constraints, and I think normally Klopp likes a good 6, 7 pre-season games. But if I look back at the seasons where we've proper gone toe-to-toe with City, I think we've had around 6 or 7 pre-season games. Kind of get rid of all the cobwebs. But I think, what is it, 5 games you said? That should be enough. That should be enough to get the boys up to speed. And then there's probably behind the closed door games that we play as well that you don't really get to see. We'll just get a team in, try and work on a certain bits and pieces. So, yeah, man, 5 games, 5 different formations. Who knows? We pick the best one.
One formation in all 5 games, and you know.
Yeah, 5 diamond, 4-2-3-1, 3-2-3. Whatever you want to do it.
Don't you dare be optimistic.
I have to be, man. I have to be. Until proven otherwise, I got to be optimistic.
So, I think, did Mo Salah win the lactate test this year?
Yes, he did.
I'm not surprised. Have you seen that guy?
I know. Do you know what?
He's
Yeah,
weird.
no. Do you know what it is? It's Trent's reaction when they said like he completed the tape basically. Like Mo completely, yeah, he did. I didn't even, to be fair, because I know in school, I think he only goes up to like 16. I didn't even know it goes up to 20.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. I think we're the
Do
only.
you know how fast the beat must be when he goes up to 20?
Oh no, man! And Milner used to do it. So my hats off to James Milner, man. But I think we're the only club in the league that does this test as well. I'm not sure if there's any others, but I know we first brought it in. They take the blood from the ear or something, don't they? And then
It's the best reading you can get.
Yeah, and
How
then
much acid build up in the body, but man, it's a good test, man.
Apparently, Szoboszlai came second in it, didn't he?
I think he came. Was he first in it? In his second? Well, there was two groups so far that I've seen. First group Mo won, and second group I think Szoboszlai won. So,
Man, have you seen him? I watched him in a bit of that inside his training bit. He looks athletic, man. He looks like.
Do you know why he's got a bit of aura about him, man? He can. Even when he asked about it, he's like, nah, no comment, man.
He looks
want to
special.
get too much away.
He does look like he's got something about him, don't he? He does look like he's got something about him. I'm proper pumped, man. Look, I hated last season. We all did. I couldn't wait for the season to finish. But as soon as the season finished, after about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, I can just get back to football now. It's just too long a wait, ain't it? And I'm hyped, man. I know there's fans out there who probably don't want this season to happen either, but anything can happen, man. I'm proper excited. I can't wait to see all the boys looking fresh. Trent looks great. Trent looks massive.
Pause.
Yeah.
You can see that he's gone away and worked on himself. So
yeah, man.
What happens, man.
He's in shape. He looks in absolute shape. He's got the 19 haircut back. You know what that means? That's trouble for everyone.
Now, as when he goes with the orange, they were grey with the orange outline boots. I think he wore them against Leicester.
Yeah.
And he wore them a few games in the season. If he pulls those out, you know what time it is.
Yeah. It's over for everyone. Over for everyone. But let's get on to a bit of transfer news before we get everyone in. So today, doing all the rounds today, again, is Jordan Henderson leaving Liverpool. Now, apparently there's some journalists out there who's quite reliable saying that Jordan Henderson's going to give his final thing on Thursday or Friday by the end of the week, if he's going to leave or not. I've always said, and I said it yesterday as well, I don't see Henderson leaving while Jurgen Klopp's there, but I'm starting to think now that these reports, there seems to be too many of these reports now not to have some substance behind it. That's why I always look at it. You can always get a news article that someone runs with, and someone else might jump on it and run with it as well. But this one with Hendo, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and there does seem like there is something there, and I suppose it's just up to the player now.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be true. If it wasn't Gerrard being a manager at the current club, then I would probably think it's nonsense. But because it's Gerrard there, he probably thinks if I get Hendo in, he can just help me kind of sort whatever needs to be sorted out as a team, and then we can build from there. But I can't see Hendo unless Klopp goes to him. Nah, mate, you ain't really playing for us no more. Whatever. I can't see him throwing away Premier League football for Saudi Arabia. No offense, but I can't see him do it. You're the captain of Liverpool Football Club. I can't, even if we as a fan base don't think he's good enough to play, I can't see the guy in that position going, I'll take the armband off. I don't want it no more. Here, Liverpool Football Club. Nah, man, that's
the thing though. It all depends where Hendo sees himself. Is where in the pecking orders does Hendo sit right now? I mean, we got told at the end of the season that coming out of the club that they're going to say that Henderson's minutes will be more like Milner's minutes going forward. Now, Milner was all right with that because Milner was 35, 36 at the time, and it's at the end of his career. So, Milner, that didn't upset him too much. He understood that. As you say, though, Jordan Henderson is the club captain. He's been a club captain since 2015. So he's very proud of that, as well. And he sees himself a leader on the pitch. But now, new blood's come in. He's going to feel like do I want to sit on the bench? He's never really been a squad player at Liverpool either. We've got to remember this as well. Henderson's never really been, especially under Jurgen Klopp, he's never really been a squad player. Like a first team footballer all this time. So does he feel like maybe I can go elsewhere, pick up a really good paycheck, play with Stevie as the manager, probably get some other players coming over as well. Bobby's gone over there. I can meet up with Bobby. It's only a small country, isn't it? They can go, there's other Premier League players that have gone over there as well that he can meet up with. Might not feel so bad for him. And they're offering him 50% of his on top of what he's already earning, ain't he? So I think Endo's on like 170 a week. That's
an extra 50%. That's not bad still.
That's not bad. For a man who's 33, might be thinking, maybe I should get a payday now.
But to be fair, I do think I think he's used to being a squad player, because last season we had to play him in certain games. I get it, because most of the guys were either injured or weren't available or not playing up to par at times in the season.
Definitely.
But I think he's kind of used to it. There was a lot of games where he had to sit on the bench and come on for 20 minutes. And I didn't see him moan or anything like that, because I think he understood. And now with the two improvements in terms of McAllister and Szoboszlai coming in, he can't argue about that. He can't just think, oh no, I should start because I'm the club captain. He has to understand, like, if these guys come in and perform. And I think that's probably the takeaway he did over the summer. And that's why all the pictures are going around and the little laughter between Robbo and looking at his body and stuff, how lean Henderson is. I think he's probably gone away and think, well, if we're improving the midfield, I need to make sure I'm in a position where I know I'm probably not going to play as many minutes, but I need to be in a position where when called upon, I'm ready to perform. So that means I could probably try and win my position back if needs be. And I think that's probably why he's gone away and worked on himself. I don't think if we don't sign these players, maybe he doesn't do it. Maybe he does do it. Who knows? But he looks in good shape, man. We'll just see how the first preseason game goes, how he plays. And if he's running for 90 minutes long in these games, then maybe he's got his legs back.
Yeah, it said apparently Chris Bascom here has said that Steven Gerrard himself is leaving the overtures for Jordan Henderson. So if Gerrard's getting in his if Stevie's getting in his ear, that would have meant Stevie's probably had a conversation with Klopp as well. I mean, if this is all being above board and he's got a lot of things in it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about Klopp, and maybe Klopp's looking at him thinking that Henderson is dispensable. Maybe.
But, I think maybe next season, Jamie. I think if we're gonna do it next season. I can't see us getting rid of Milner and Henderson in the same season.
In the team.
Yeah, and whatever way you might look at it, everyone's gonna have their own opinions on it. You can't just get rid of two leaders in your dressing room and expect everything to kind of just still be rosy. So I think next season, maybe there is a conversation where Klopp goes, look, Hendo, I need you this season, but next season, cool, do your thing. And it's just whether or not Gerrard wants him next season or not. How important is he to Gerrard's plans? That's the only question, really.
Yeah. I mean, and what would the fee be? What would a fee be for Hendo? How long's he got left in his deal?
Do they have any half-decent players in that team? Maybe you can do like a swap deal or something.
I don't know who they got.
They got a half-decent young player.
I'm not even going to pretend I know. I'm not even going to...
Guys in the comments, if you know anything, if they got a half-decent young player, we could just do a swap
Let
deal.
me have a look what Jordan Henderson, because I think he might have, is it 2 years left in his deal? I'm trying to work out how long he's got, because Liverpool won a bit of money for him, you would have felt.
Yeah, but we paid. What did we pay for him? 20 million.
20 million back 12 years ago.
Yeah, so probably the same.
It's a good bit of business, really, isn't it? 12 years of service. Yeah. Let a 33-year-old go for the price you bought him for. So his current deal don't run out till 2025.
Okay. 2 years left.
June the 30th, 2025. So 2 more years. Is that 2 years?
Yeah. Call it 2.
More.
It is.
2 more years. So if we were going to sell him, I could see it happening this summer, I suppose. But Liverpool go, being it's where it's coming from, Liverpool go ask maybe money that is maybe a bit silly. But if Saudi want him and Gerrard want him, they might just pay it,
Hey, listen, these clubs are wealthy enough.
It takes 30 million to take our captain.
Yeah, we're losing out on X, Y, and Z. So look, listen, 40 million, you can have him. 40 million is a good amount, I think. I'll be happy. I'll be cool with that. 40, 45 million.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the outcry from rival fans if we somehow sold Henderson for 40 million?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
They'll be like, how have you done that? It's like, well, you know.
Well, if we can sell Dominic Solanke for 30 mil, yeah, you can. This guy never played hardly any minutes for us, and he ended up going for that amount of money. It's crazy.
That was ridiculous. I think teams started to cotton on that what we were doing.
Yeah, that's because we kept making up too much noise, man. We kept talking about how we're just, doing some crazy deals. We're, just walking in, telling people how much we want, and we're just walking away with the cash. We just keep quiet and let us just rob these guys. You know what I mean?
So apparently Henderson, I'm reading all these articles here, and apparently Henderson has had second thoughts about moving to Saudi and is now giving it serious consideration.
But where is it coming from, though? Because I can't see him being a professional guy. No, I'm going to tell someone I'm consider leaving so you guys can then break it to the media.
Maybe he saw how much they were going to pay him. Maybe that was like, 300 grand a week.
Yeah, 300 grand a week is nice still.
That Middle Eastern sun on your back every day, no rain. Yeah, I mean,
the stress of the Premier League.
2 or 3 years come back like a pimp. You know what I mean? You just, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Look, I can't see him just giving up the captain's armband. I think if he wasn't the captain of Liverpool, if we'd have done the transition already and then we'd have handed that over to someone else, I think he would have. Yeah, he wouldn't have gave it a second thought. But I think he hasn't really done that. We ain't really giving the baton on to anyone at the moment.
Do you know what it is? I believe sometimes I believe in conspiracy theories, right? So I'm thinking now, like Stevie loves Liverpool and he wants them to get back to the top, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there thinking, right, let's give a stupid amount of money for Jordan Henderson that they can't turn down. And then with that, they can go and get the players they need to compete.
Gerard, if that's what you want to do, bro, but I don't know, because that's the same Gerard that threw away you know what I mean? He couldn't hold a lead against Man City. That's the same Gerard that was cussing because he didn't beat us when he was trying to go for a title. So I don't know.
Yeah, Stevie's a bit of a weird one. I love the guy, but I'll tell you what, he's just ultra competitive, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's just proper competitive.
Pure professional.
Oh man, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Just go, you go over
there. 50 million for Hendo. Go and use that now. Get Lavia. That's the guy you guys want. Go and use that money.
There's other news as well. Apparently the Thuram news is back on.
Oh, finally. Jesus Christ.
Thuram news is back on. Apparently that's never actually died. It's just the fact that Liverpool are waiting to get rid of players. And it's always been the same thing, Lavia or Thuram. Now, you let Henderson go, you get Gerrard to spend stupid money on him, and you go and get both of them. Both of them. Get it done, man. Get it done. Gerrard might be sacked in 3 months. How bad have you got to be get the sack in 3 months over? I'm sorry.
But you know what it is, though, Jamie? Each of those owners for those clubs, man, they are very super competitive as well. So I think it's going to be one of those ones. Like, if you're not competing, we'll just go and pay someone else.
Apparently Stevie's gone to the poorest one, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
No money. We ain't getting no money for Hendo then. But to be fair, what is the poorest?
I don't know what the poorest one over there.
What is that? 300 million, the poorest? Or
yeah, you only got a transfer budget of 600 mil this year.
Sorry, we couldn't give you any more, but that's what it is.
That's all we got. You know, I mean, that's the poorest. Thuram going Newcastle for 35. Thuram is going to Newcastle. A lot of people were saying. Well, the news I heard about Newcastle today is that Newcastle got to sell a few players because they can't buy anyone until they sell a few, and they're trying to get rid of St. Maximin, ain't they? They're trying to get rid.
Would you take him?
I've never liked him. I've never rated him. I think I was on an episode of Coppish about 18 months ago.
Yeah,
calling about 18 months ago. It might be before I even started my YouTube channel or the start of my YouTube channel. I rung them up and said about because everyone kept bigging up. Is it Rafinha? Who was at Leeds? What was that
Yeah,
player?
yeah. Rafinha.
And Saint Maximin as the two best wide players that don't play for a top 16. And
Okay.
I weren't having it. I don't
So
think I don't think they're
is
that
it
good.
St. Maximan's end product you don't like? Because if
Yeah,
you're talking about out and out
look,
ghosting players,
he's a
he
talent.
ghosts his
He's a
players.
talent on the pitch at going around the player. But with Saint
Mm.
Maximin, what I see of him a lot of the time is that he'll go around four players, make it look effortless, and then there's no end product at the end of it.
Mm.
It's like a TikTok reel, ain't
I
it?
agree with that.
Like, and Saint Maximin looks great on TikTok because all the little bits he does.
He makes most of them videos, by the way. As
Yeah,
well.
exactly. The step overs and the roulettes and the rainbow flicks and the way he goes past players dropping the shoulder, and then it cuts off because the reason it's cut off is because his cross has gone into the stands or his shot has gone to the corner flag and things like that. And that's always my worry. I always think with Saint Maximin, if he calmed all of that down and diluted it a little bit, and then put more emphasis on the game, the end of the game of crossing and finishing and things like that, I think he'd be a tremendous player that everyone would love. The fact that no one's really talking about him anymore and no one's looking at him, I think says a lot for St. Maximin.
Still quite young, so I don't know, man. Let's see.
And I don't know if he gets in the Newcastle team anymore either, to be fair.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't play. But that was he got out of the team based on an injury, and then from there the other players were performing. So Eddie Howe ain't gonna change the team. That's what I mean. Not really losing a game of football. So
yeah, this is it. Yeah, St. Maximin is everything Salah haters love. Yeah, man, I'm all about end product. I ain't gonna lie. I'm all about end product. The game of football is about winning, scoring goals or getting the pass that scores a goal or something. I'm all about end product. You can have a striker who scores, 20 goals in 3 seasons, or you want a striker that scores 20 goals every season. You know what I mean? I'm about end product. But it depends what they are as well. I mean, St. Maximin. The reason I always got as St. Maximin is because I just thought he could be a better player than what he was, because he's obviously got ability. And I always feel like if he was coached properly, if someone got into him and really coached him, he could be a great player. But Eddie Howe, everyone says he's a great coach, and I don't think he's got a tuner at St. Maximin at all. So, yeah, these sort of players, man, they're very frustrating footballers, and that's what irritates me, because they look so good, and you think they can be so good, but they frustrate you because there's talent there, and they just don't use it enough. It's like that Portuguese player, Quizema. I can't remember his name. Quizema.
Oh, Quaresma.
Yeah, he was Ronaldo before Ronaldo for Portugal.
Yeah, Quaresma.
And I used to look at him and think, man, you could have been anything you wanted as well, And obviously,
some people are just too good for the game, man, and they don't take it seriously enough.
Yeah, you're wrong. Chaos is more important than end product. Talking about, I think that was a dig at a certain number 9 at Liverpool. What a baller he was. Yeah, he was a baller, weren't he? But he could have been so much more. You look at him and think he had everything Ronaldo had technique-wise. He just didn't have that mentality Ronaldo had. That was the difference. There. But yeah, Liverpool back in for apparently Thuram. Henderson may be leaving the football club. I'll be shocked. It'd be the most shocked I've ever been at a footballer leaving our football club since Stevie G.
Well, if Henderson left,
yeah.
I don't want him to leave yet, but I don't mind next season. I think next season is probably a prime time for him to leave. But this season, nah, man, not yet.
No, I agree. Yeah,
next season.
I think I've said it. I want the whole old midfield lot out, but I want it in a 12-month scenario, like from summer to summer. They do it bit by bit. So I do think if we get rid of all of them now and bring in a fresh new lot, I think that makes us worse in a way this season, because they all got to get to know each other. They got to go. We know Klopp likes to take his time with midfielders and get them into the team.
Yeah.
Can't do that with all of them because we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think that's why it's keeping some older heads, and that's why Fabinho looks like he's the one who's not going anywhere. Apparently, Thiago has rejected Saudi Arabia. He doesn't want to leave Liverpool. Apparently, Thiago actually wants to sign a new deal with Liverpool. That's what he's trying to do, but he wants to prove his fitness this season. So, yeah, Thiago's up to signing a new deal with Liverpool if Liverpool want him, but he needs to prove his fitness. So, if he does prove his fitness this season, ends, do you keep Thiago? Do you give him a new deal?
Yeah, that's an easy one, bro. But he has to prove his fitness. I know how good a player he is. Obviously, I heard your crazy take yesterday. Not going to hold you accountable for it, but I understand everyone's going to have their own views on him. But the only problem is we know he's a good player, but he has to prove why he's that player that we all sometimes say, and he hasn't yet. In certain games, he has. There was great performances in odd games here or there, but we want to see this throughout the whole season. If he can stay fit and he performs the way we know he can perform, there is no reason to just give him another year extension if you need to. You know what I mean? And then we'll just get rid of him as we see fit, get someone else in, and then phase him out as well. But yeah, he has to prove his fitness. He has to. But we need as many bodies this season, man. I want to win everything this season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree. Levi Colwill. Now, this ain't going anywhere, this story. This story is not going anywhere. Did you see Neil Jones on Redmond TV today?
I haven't seen it. I think
he said there is no reason that Liverpool can't be big for him. And he was really abrupt about it. It was like, there's just no... Liverpool want him. Liverpool literally want this kid. They want him at Liverpool. It's that Chelsea will sell him if the fee's right. Yeah. Simple as that. Chelsea will sell him if the fee's right. Chelsea have not actually come out and said he ain't for sale. They will sell him if the fee's right. Would you? What's the fee for Levi Colwill? Because let's look at it.
In my personal opinion,
when he at Huddersfield 2 years ago on loan, and then he was at Brighton last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an £85 million defender?
No. But that's the thing, though, Jamie. We live in a world now where, we just live in a world now where teams are going to go, that's the value for the player. You take it or leave it. That's it. Yeah. It's no longer what we think. It's about making sense and logically no more. That's the value. If you want him, come and get him. Like, we know he hasn't played enough football to be valued at 85 million. But you're telling me 35, 40, 45 million? Yeah, young player, English, meets all the quotas, left-footed, left-sided defender. He's got all the attributes you need for a centre-back. You know what I mean? Looks really calm as well. Looks like level-headed kid. He has all of that. 35 to 45 million? No problem. No brainer. Go and get it done because he's a future star in the making. But when you're talking about 85 million, then you can then go, no, but Inacio has like a 35 million release clause. Why not just go and get him? He's played far more games at the top level. International football, he's also played in the Champions League. And he's a cheaper value. And then that's where sometimes when we moan at Klopp for just go and get the player. He's like, well, I could get Inacio, and then I can go and get someone else as well for the same price, which we've seen with McAllister and Szoboszlai, who could have went and spent all that money and go and get Jude Bellingham, but instead he's gone, well, instead of getting one, I can get two quality players to make our squad better. So if it's going to be that price, I don't want him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be around that price. Maybe because, what is he, 20 years old? And if Liverpool got him as their defender for the next 10 years, 11 years, does £85 million then seem so bad? I think that's the way they look at transfers now, isn't it? It's like Wayne Rooney back in the day. When Wayne Rooney had a few games at Everton, scored that goal against Arsenal, you could tell he was a talent. And then Man United just bid 30 million quid for him in the January, didn't they? And everyone was like, whoa, 30 million quid for a 17-year-old. This is madness. And if you think that was, 12, 13, 14 years ago, whatever it was, that in today's market would be 85 million for Colwill in the same sort of thing, I suppose.
Do you know what, Jamie? I don't think we have enough of a sample size for him as a player. Because it's different putting on a Brighton shirt to putting on a Liverpool shirt. We've seen players that people have gone, very good player, comes to Liverpool, put the Liverpool shirt on, it weighs a ton of bricks. So there's a complete difference. So we can go, cold player, but then you come to Liverpool, and especially the way the fan base is going on at the moment, bro, you can't even misplace a pass. Nah, bro, like it's honest, bro. We gotta spend 85 million on him.
It's true, man.
And he got his first game, he goes and gets sent off. Comes back, second game, he gives away a pen. Do you know how much of these guys will start cooking?
You're playing for top 5 biggest clubs in world football that are shown around the world. The weight of the shirt is different to a lot of teams. It just is. And Chelsea fans might hang on. We won more than you in the last 20 years, yeah, but the Liverpool shirt, the Liverpool badge weighs differently. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're bigger clubs than Chelsea.
Man United badge, Man United shirt weighs differently. You know, there's just clubs that take the very, very good footballers have gone to these clubs and struggled for that reason because of the weight of that badge. And it's just a fact. And, you know, you do, as you say, Colwell comes in and he has a couple of bad games where you pay 80 million for him. Everyone gets on his back. Especially rival fans. Oh, what are you bought that laughing? Chelsea fans be like straight away forgetting he was their player that they called and said was the next big thing, and all of a sudden they'll be like, we told you he was a waste man. Yeah, thanks for the money, sort of thing.
Excuse me.
It's just what's going to happen. But it's like Van Dijk when Man United fans come out and said Chris Smalling was better. You remember?
Yeah, I remember
75 million for Van Dijk. These ludicrous claims, because I swear people don't watch football. I swear that's what it is, man. Spend
too much time sending tweets while games are on. That's why.
Yeah, they're watching the game. You're watching the game and watch about 3 minutes of a 90 minutes.
Look, back-to-back tweets. Like, bro, you ain't watching it.
Big up Jay for Super Chat. He says it's smart investment. He's only 20. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Everton United is a massive jump. And he scored a hat-trick on his debut as well. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You're not allowed to miss chances at Liverpool, man. No, it's just... It's like Mason Mount's finding that out today, isn't he? Mason Mount's finding that out today. By the way, that is kind of why I wanted Mason Mount at Liverpool. I know he missed his chance, but it's the run.
Yeah, the runs, innit? And the pressing.
The press and the run to get into that position is quality, by the way. You know, if it was that easy, every player would do it. Right? It's because he's got a knack to doing it. Yeah, the finish was poor, but it's the first game in pre-season. Do
you know what? Do you know what that first game reminded me of, Jamie? It reminded me of Nunez's first game. I was just watching him. I was just like, this is the same stuff he was doing, making good runs, but just kept kicking the ball wide or just, you know what I mean? But
Mason Mount obviously is getting ridiculed for that now. Did he get ridiculed that much getting with Chelsea? No, because the Chelsea shirt don't weigh nowhere near as much as the United shirt. Although it don't really help, you know, his cause when he did a video crying about leaving Chelsea. It looked like it was done in his shed. And he had blonde hair.
He didn't care.
And he had blonde hair. And in the day of his
When did he record that then?
That was recorded so long ago. It looked like a bloody... It looked like he'd been kidnapped. Someone then please for help. You know, and you're reading what they're telling you. Someone wrote on the board and you're reading it. And I would like to say to Chelsea fans, thank you very much for having me. And then when did this start? Why do footballers now have to do a video saying thank you for the memories and all that? When did this woke shit
I just think everyone's kind of taking it. I think it's every player has their own way in it. Some players might just write a long message. But I think they will write a message just to say thanks, and then they'll go and score against you and celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. Mason Mount's taking his shirt off when he scores against Chelsea. Yeah, with 250k on his chest. You know?
But look, I just think it's the player's way, kind of giving thanks to the club in it, because at the end of the day, you have to find a club that, you know, helps you out along your journey. So, and Chelsea was the one for him, and now he's going on to, in his mind, bigger and better things. Yeah, so he has to kind of show appreciation. But that video was crazy, man. I couldn't believe it.
It was so. You can tell it never came from the heart. It was all He's just reading something someone's wrote for him. He's like, no, I'd like to thank Chelsea fans for their continued.
PR team wrote that. I'm telling you.
It's like,
no emotion in it. No, because I was confused.
Aspilicueta had emotion.
Yeah, no, I was proper confused because I was like, when did he do this video? Because his hair isn't blonde now. So when I was mad confused.
The video came out that day, and then literally the next day he was pulling up outside Man United training centre with brown hair that was a little bit longer.
Okay, maybe did he change it the night before? I don't know. It was so confusing.
He changed that in one night. That peroxide to dark brown again. That takes a couple of goes, man. No, that was at the end of the Chelsea season, I reckon. Before he went on holiday and absolutely got messed up. Talking about getting messed up, Jack Grealish. I just want to ask you something. Because everyone's going on about this at the moment, yeah, because he's on his holidays at the moment. There was a photo of him, weren't there? He looked a bit like he looked really old. Have you seen the photo?
I haven't seen the photo.
He looked really old in it. He's on the beach somewhere and he's absolutely paralytic, right? Now, I've not got a problem with it. I don't let him celebrate, man. If he wants to drink, let him drink. But do you think a professional footballer like Jack Grealish, do you reckon secretly Pep Guardiola wouldn't be too happy with it?
Yeah, I don't think he would be. And not even just Klopp. I think any manager wouldn't. You look, you can't help. Look, they won the treble. You're going to go away on your summer holidays. You're going to go and enjoy yourself. You're going to go and do what you need to do. I think every manager will be like, but within reason, because at the end of the day, you still represent the club. But at the same time, they just won a treble. He's gone. I've left Villa, won 2 Premier League titles back to back, and I've won a Champions League now. Yeah. Like, I don't know, he's just enjoying himself. The way you would know is if the start of the season and he's not starting in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you know.
I think it's fine. He's not doing it in the middle of a season. He's letting his hair down. He's on holiday. Let him get sloshed. He's got a bit of a flab on his belly. Let him. You know, he's a human being enjoying himself. He's on monster money. What do you want him to do? Sit at home being bored and playing Fortnite all day? Jesus Christ, let him enjoy himself. I just think, though, from his own career, if he wants more longevity, maybe cut it down a little bit. If he wants his longevity to last a little bit more, maybe cut it down a little bit. But it's his own life at the end of the day. I'm just sick of the media always going for these footballers that are enjoying themselves. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? You want them to go and work for the BBC? We know how that fucking works out at the moment, don't we? So, Well, you know, what do you want them to go and do, man? Just enjoy themselves. Let them have a bit of time, man. Let them have a bit of time. Right, on that note, let's get everyone in. I'm going to put the link in the chat, guys, for you to come in, have your say.
Big up to the chat, by the way. I see the love in there, man. Big up, guys. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, the link is in the chat, guys. Come in and have your say, guys. If you are new, please put your camera on, just so I can see that you're a real person, because we've had a few incidences. You know,
I had one on my calling as well, but I quickly dropped that one. Yeah, really quick. It was like
I bet it's the same geezer.
Probably the same.
I bet it's the same geezer. He went on Coppish, didn't he? He came on here. He went on yours. Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. Look, if I were, it's crazy. Why would you spend your time trying to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, guys, this ain't the BBC, man. Don't come in with your shit.
No, can't be playing sex noises in that. No, Jesus Christ.
Like, what are you doing? People do it for a laugh. I understand it. People do it for a laugh. But yeah, you know, I don't care. Right.
Psychedelic said the Coppish one was the worst.
Yeah, because it looked like he was going to pull it out or something, didn't he? I think that's
I don't know. I've not seen that.
Yeah. Apparently, he stood up and he looked like he was going to get it out, and I think drifted cut off real quick before he could do it.
Oh, fair. No, but I'm like that anyway, man. If I know when you're doing call-ins, it's a wild place to be, man. You gotta be ready.
Oh yeah.
Big up, man. Big up.
Right, let's get our first caller on for the day. I believe he's got the new kit on. I believe he's got the new away kit on. Minecraft Albert himself. Big up, Albert. How you doing, man?
How are you?
look at Albert funding FSG here. Look at
I know. Listen, this is not the same guy I see in the group chat still, but it's all right.
How you doing, Albert? How you doing, man?
I'm good, Jamie. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad.
Hey, listen, I'm doing my bit for the badge, man. I love the badge, but I tell you what, the away kit is absolutely gorgeous. The panning is being panned a lot, but it's it's just beautiful.
It looks good on you. I will say
it's beautiful. It's different. Put it this way, it's just different. Okay, but it is beautiful.
I'm not Albert's look at the moment, then. Don't know about you. A bit of stubble, glasses, the new
Yeah,
kit.
just showing my showing my age
listen,
a little bit.
Looks like he's dropped a bit of weight. He's looking good here.
Nah,
Yeah.
I told you. It's a conversation, man. He's allowed us to, you know what I mean?
Man,
Let me help calm him down, Savage, calm him
I'm
down.
running like Hendo. I'm punching trees. Fucking, I'm hitting everything in I'm just hitting everything in my way. I'm doing lactate tests. I'm just fucking running all over the lot, man.
That's good, man.
Lost-
Told you that relax. Albert, how long have I been telling you? Relax, man. Chill.
I've lost 30 pounds since the season ended, man.
That's a lot of weight, man. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And he says that
Blood pressure is perfect now
I
as
gained
well.
I gained the weight. I gained the weight because of Klopp.
That's what Klopp makes you eat. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. When you lose 3-0 to Brighton, Wolves, Brighton, you just start fucking eating.
Yeah, you're like, where's the food? Where's the beer? Yeah, I'm with you. But Albert, what did you want to say today, my man?
Hey, man, I think Hendo's artifact thing is just a fucking stunt, man. It's a shrill stunt for attention. I've heard N saying, "Oh, if he's gonna accept to play limited minutes, then it's fine." That's not what he wants to accept. If he wants to accept that, he wouldn't have pulled that stunt in Portugal. He wouldn't have been showing himself punching stuff and running from Porto to Lisbon, whatever it is he was doing. That's not what he's about. There are two possibilities to this story. That he's going to go to Saudi because of the money, and the money is almost 2.5 times what he's getting. That's a heck of a lot of money. If you are earning 10 million pounds and somebody's going to pay you 25 to 30, that's like a lot of money. Okay, so he maybe what happened to Stevie has happened to him. He went back home to his wife and told his wife, "I'm not taking it. I'm a proud patriot." And his wife told him, "Get the fuck out of the bedroom. Go and accept that fucking contract before you come back, idiot." So maybe that's what's gonna happen. Because if I got any contract that pays me 30 million pounds and I came back and told my wife that I'm a patriot, so I'm staying home for 10, she'll kick me out of the bedroom. So that's what probably has happened. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't believe he's going anywhere. I think he wants attention. But unfortunately for him, he is not going to get in the team ahead of Dominic Szoboszlai. That's not going to happen. So unless maybe he injures him in training like he did to Curtis Jones, there's no fucking way he gets in the team ahead of Szoboszlai. I think that with all my criticism of Klopp has shown that he wants something different in the midfield. There's no two ways about it. So if he stays big part role, maybe, comes on, maybe. But the question that we need to ask is, what role do we want the captain of the team to play? Shouldn't he be a starter, like everyday starter? Isn't that what should happen? It depends on what we want. But I think he's past his sell-by date. And the team should move on. With Thiago, I like Thiago. He's a great player. But Thiago is never available. So if he's unavailable, what's next? I don't know. I also think that we should forget about Levi Colwill. Because, sometimes I don't understand Liverpool. We know we are cheap. Evan Ndika was available for 0. We didn't take him because somebody said he wasn't good enough. Ignacio is available for 40 million pounds? Is it 40 million euros? We are still faffing around until somebody goes to get him. And we are sitting around saying we want to get Colwill for 80 million pounds. Come on, man. If we're going to pay 80 million pounds for Colwill, why didn't we go for Guardiola? Why didn't we?
This is what I always say.
Leipzig would have negotiated at 80 million. Why not? At worst, give them Fabio Carvalho price him at 20 million and take Guardiola for 70, they'll have taken it. So I don't know what the deal is right now. I don't even know whether they get anybody else, I don't know. Because today I've heard again that the on and off Thuram is back on again. I don't know what's going on with Thuram now. I hear Nice won 50 million. Of course, Nice have always wanted a bidding war. A bidding war they didn't get. So now they claim they've withdrawn the guy, and now they claim they'll sell for 50 million. I don't know. But I don't even think we get anybody else, I don't even think we get anybody else. I don't see it. For all you know, Hendo might come back and play fullback. He may be able to play. You never know. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah,
I'm so starved of football that, and don't tell anybody I'm telling you this.
Go on.
I actually watched the Man United and Leeds game.
Yeah, why not, man?
Good game though.
I did that.
Why not, man? Watch it, man. Watch it.
I
I
watched it, and I was like, I'm very happy we didn't get Mason Mount. Same old Mason Mount, useless as ever. The only difference is he's wearing a red shirt instead of a blue shirt. Useless as ever.
The finish weren't great, but the movement was fantastic.
Well, his movement has always been fantastic, but he went to Strictly Come Dancing. He didn't win, so who cares? He was on Strictly Come fucking
on
Dancing.
On that note, Albert, we'll let you go, my man.
Yeah, man.
Up, Albert, man.
Take care of yourself, Jamie, and take care, ends.
You already know, man. Blood pressure is low, man. We chilling, man.
Everything is low, bro. Everything is low,
just chill,
man.
relax, man.
You're the bomb disposal expert, man. Like,
hey,
pull out the yellow lines. Y'all be calm.
Chill,
Pull out
man.
the yellow lines. Pull out the. Fuck no, I'm running. I am fucking running. Take care, people.
Beautiful, man.
Big up, bro.
See you later, man. No, so I've heard some people say this about Hendo, that they're using this as a ploy to get a brand new contract. So all these teams in for him, Saudi Arabia in for him, it's a ploy for him to get a brand new deal, because he has got 2 years left in his deal. When you start talking about contracts, usually 2 months, 2 years, 18 months left. So what do you reckon? We're on something there.
At the most, maybe a year extension, if that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't. But if you're going to sell him. But as I said, I don't want to sell him this season. Sell him next season. If you're not going to do that and Klopp wants to keep him, then that's down to Klopp. And then if you're going to give him a new contract, a year. If you're giving him anything more than that, you're taking a piss. So a year extra is...
And with his other comment, what about Gavardal? Look,
yeah,
I said it yesterday. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's a money thing or it's who Klopp actually rates. I mean, I've said this for a while now, because I look at the way we do transfers and it's like, so why didn't we go for that player? Like, we spent 65 million on Núñez when we could have probably got Osherman at that time, probably for the same price. It's this season that he's really kicked on. Like last season, he really kicked on and his price has doubled. But back then, when we got Darwin, you could probably got Osherman for the same price. So, is it a money thing all the time, or is it?
No, it's who you prefer. It's always going to be who you prefer as a manager. You know your squad. You're with them day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out. So you know what you need, and you're going to go and get who you think you're going to need and who you believe will make this squad better. Yeah. Us as fans, we can only speculate. We can only assume these players are going to come in and make our team better. But there's certain things that we don't know, the ins and out behind the scenes, that we probably like, nah, his attitude ain't right, or there's certain things he can't do, but he's never been utilized in certain positions, so you never get to see those weaknesses. And then we're like, if we get him in to do this role, he's not going to be able to do it, so it's a waste of money. There's so many different factors in there, but as a manager, you're always going to go and get the players you want.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's get Cal's army on. How you doing, Cal?
I'm doing good, man. How you, man, doing?
Good, bro.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good.
Listen, I'm gonna be real, man. I've been watching. I saw your stream yesterday, and I'm seeing it today, man. I'm gonna be real. This Henderson love fest is making me sick, man. It's making me absolutely sick. For me, and I'm gonna be real, man. Listen, For me, there's genuinely no argument to keep Henderson at this football club. There's zero, nothing. The guy's the worst midfielder in the Premier League last season on stats. He was the number one worst midfielder in the Premier League for any midfielder that had more than 1,000 minutes experience. And how?
So you rated every midfielder last season then?
No, but I rated them higher than Henderson.
So then that's not a factual thing you're saying, then, bro. You can't,
No.
if you told me that you rated all the midfielders and went side by side with Henderson, then that's cool.
The difference is I'm not even talking about Liverpool midfielders. I'm talking about just generally in the Premier League last season. Not a single midfielder last season that had more than 1,000 minutes had worse stats than Jordan Bryan Henderson. And people are sitting there telling me, keep him as a leader, keep him as that. All I'm going to sit here and say is, why was it so quickly that Henderson suddenly became a brilliant leader when we bought in players like Alisson, Salah, Van Dijk, Trent? But when all of these players started to become human again because they were playing at such a tremendous level, just like last season, like Van Dijk slept off, Fabinho had a terrible season. The only player that we had that was actually good was Alisson, and then Mo Salah turned up in the second half of the season. I'm going to ask the question again. Where was Jordan Henderson last season? Where was he? Where was he? Where was his leadership? Where did it bring us?
Couldn't you not say that about every other player in the team as well?
No, but the difference is though, the difference is Henderson was shit for 3 seasons. These players were shit for 1. So when people tell me that Fabinho was playing dead for 1 season last season to get him out, and I agree with that. The guy has fallen off. The guy can't move. He's the skinniest fat person I've ever seen in my life. Can't turn, can't move. It's like a truck. But when people sit there and say, get Fabinho out of the football club, but keep Henderson, I'm saying this agenda is sickening. Absolutely sickening. Like, what barring homegrown, and that's the only viable argument you have to bring into a conversation. Henderson brings 0, and I mean 0 with a capital Z. He brings 0 abilities on a football pitch for us to improve on. And this is not even me sitting here and saying, like, I'm trying to banter or anything. What does Henderson do good on a football pitch? He can't control a ball, can't defend, can't track a runner, can't pass a ball, can't shoot, can't cross a ball. We've seen that too many times. What does he do? Like, I'm sorry, I'm saying here, and I'm not even trying to take the piss, but I'm saying we all watch football, yeah. And I've seen your what's it called YouTube channel. Like, I know you know ball. We sit here and watch the same thing. Do people want me to bring up the game against Leicester when he had Dewsbury Hall, a flipping Dewsbury Hall, ran past the brother and he did nothing? Do people want me to bring up the Brighton game where Moises Caicedo and McAllister absolutely bullied him? Do people want me to bring up the game where he was at home against Wolverhampton on the 7th of January? Do people want to know what that second string midfield did to him? You want me to bring up the midfield against Brighton? Not Brighton, the Brighton at FA Cup game. Do people want me to bring up the first game against Man United at the beginning of the season? Like, come on, man. Like, it's getting beyond a joke. Like, I don't know what people sit here and say. Henderson is not a good footballer. But the only thing that people bring up is leadership. Like, yesterday I was watching this stream, and Jamie, you'll back me up when I say this. When it came to people sitting there and saying, why would you keep Henderson as a footballer? Within 5-10 seconds, I heard the argument getting stretched back to leadership, off the field, the intangibles. Stick to football. Why is he still at football? Why is he still a Liverpool player?
So do you believe, in your opinion, without no leadership, teams will just perform well then?
But the difference is we have leaders. And the funniest thing is...
But these are men that I've never heard you rate as leaders, though. So I'm just asking the question. If there's no leadership in football, are we saying teams would go out there and just perform and then that's it? No one needs to be a captain then?
And with all
we don't need leadership group. I have to ask, bro. I have to ask the question.
I know. I respect you now, and I read these questions. But at the same time, we've got people like Robertson, who is the captain of Scotland. We got people that are like flipping Salah, who are the captain of Egypt. Flipping Van Dijk, captain of Holland. Flipping we had Milner last season, one of the biggest leaders. We had flipping Alisson, a massive leader in the dressing room. Was one of the biggest components for Brazil winning the 2019 Copa America. We had Firmino. We had flipping Nunes, one of the biggest characters in the dressing room for Uruguay. So when people sit there and say that we need Jordan Bryan Henderson for leadership, for me, I'm saying we've got a bigger issue then. If Henderson has to be a Liverpool player for the leadership and for the dressing room, then we've got bigger issues that we don't even have to talk about, because Henderson's leaving, whether it be this summer, next summer, or the summer after that. He's leaving the football club very, very soon. So if people are saying we need Henderson for leadership, then players like Van Dijk, players like Robertson, players like Alisson, we have a massive issue. Massive. But listen, man, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear this, man, because at the end of the day, Henderson, Hoofball, we're gonna see you soon, man. We're gonna see you soon.
So what if he doesn't play any minutes but he still stays at the club? Would you still have an issue with that?
Yes, I would, because we're paying 200k a week for a guy that's playing less minutes than me.
But should it matter how much we're paying him? If he doesn't get minutes, that means the argument of him taking other people's minutes don't matter anymore.
Ends. Listen,
No, bro, I have to ask the question.
I like the questions.
Because the issue, bro, the issue is people are going to say is he's going to take other people's minutes. No problem. So now scenario, he doesn't play no minutes. He just stays at the club.
Okay, Enz, I'm going to switch it to
What's
you.
the problem then?
Enz, I'm going to switch it to you. You know the owners that we have at this football club.
Yeah.
You know their wage restrictions. So with all due respect, 200k a week for a guy that's playing 0 minutes in the Premier League, that's a fucking issue. We're basically saying we're giving this man 10 million a year to play nothing, contribute nothing. With all due respect, what are we doing here? Wouldn't that 200k?
Wouldn't you just say that about other players in the team, like Tsimikas? He doesn't really play, he gets paid.
Tsimikas don't get 200k a week.
We had Naby Keita that was getting mad money, didn't hardly play. Thiago's on match. So you could say that about majority of the players.
Differences though. They're not top 3 earners of the football club. It's Salah on 350, Van Dijk on 220, then Henderson on 200. He's top 3 earners of the football club. And just like Enz, man, this is a real saying in football. You get what you pay for. Henderson, top 3 earners of the football club. I'm expecting top 3 flipping performances. The guy's the worst performer in the Premier in our football club. Like, basically, I'm being serious, and I want to ask the chat this before I go, and I want to ask you, man. Barring Adrian, can you name me a worse player in our squad than Jordan Bryan Henderson on a footballing pitch? Can you name me one? Just one. Because Nat Phillips is going. Don't bring me Reece Williams, because we know that brother's a kid and Mr. Player.
Well, he's already gone to Aberdeen, hasn't he?
So who? Okay. Like, genuinely, who is worse than Henderson?
I'm quiet on this one because I want
Jamie.
I want Hendo to leave. So
Jamie's my guy, man. Jamie's my guy, man.
I want Hendo to go this season.
Jamie, you see where I'm coming from, though? Don't you see where I'm coming from? Because you look at the squad in general. We have 25, 26 man squad. Genuinely, who's worse than the guy? Who is? And some people are saying in the chat that Adrian is better. I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue that, even though I wouldn't agree with it. I'll just sit there and I'll be like, fair enough. But I can't see any. If I go through the squad, Gomez is better, Matip is better in his position, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, Tsimikas, Robertson, Fabinho's better, Curtis Jones better, Bajcetic is better in my opinion. Then you got players like Elliott. I would rather have Elliott in this current moment in time than Henderson. Thiago's better, McAllister's better, Szoboszlai better, and all of our attackers are better than him. So, with all due respect, if there's an argument to say Henderson's one of our worst players, but he's getting paid like a player that should be top 3 earners, like, what are we doing here? That's a massive issue, man. But listen, I had to come on here to correct Ends, man. You know what I mean? I had to correct it.
You ain't corrected no one, bro.
Ends, man.
You have not corrected me. I'm telling you that. Because all I've taken away from that, you're saying that we don't need leaders in the team, bro. It's cool, man. Henderson's the worst player. Henderson's the worst player in the squad. Cool, bro. You're entitled to your opinion. Bro, have your opinion, bro. Relax. Have your opinion. Your opinion matters.
Listen, you know what? You know it's all love, man. But listen, we have leaders in the squad. Van Dijk, Robertson, Salah.
Listen, bro. I know this, but that's not what I see in the spaces. Man are telling me Virgil ain't the leader, Robbo ain't the leader. I'm hearing
that's them. You're not hearing it from my lips.
Bro, when it comes to any kind of conversation, you have to go what you see majority going, and majority is saying they don't rate the other guys that are leaders. So you're telling me if Henderson goes, that's cool. If you're happy for someone else to be the captain, cool. Are you happy for Virgil to take the armband then?
If you're asking me seriously, I wouldn't give Virgil the armband personally. With all due respect,
so then where are we going then, bro?
The only reason why I wouldn't give Virgil the what's it called, the armband is because I want to give the armband to somebody that's in his prime right now, between the ages of 24 to 26, and he's going to be at the football club for 5-10 years and grow something. So in my opinion, I would give it to Trent. And people will sit there and say Trent isn't like a leader, but the difference is that Trent is in the mode of a Steven Gerrard. He doesn't have to lead by the words that he says, by the action that he does on a football pitch. That's why I would give it to Trent. Virgil's like, what, 31, 32? When's the last time we had a captain given by that age? Wasn't it Sammy Hope, if I'm not mistaken? So for me, it doesn't really make much sense to give it to him. But listen, man, that's just my opinion.
No, big up, Cal's net.
Right, no, big up, bro.
Big up to you, man. Listen, ends.
Cold,
I'll be
man.
watching you, man. And listen, big up to Jamie all the time, man. Jamie comes correct, man. Jamie comes correct all the time.
Big up.
Hey, listen, man. You gotta ask the difficult questions, man.
Big up, man.
Big up,
coming
bro.
on as always, my man. I'll see you soon.
Love, man. Love.
Yeah, my man. There we go. Big up the Cal's net. Oh, Army, thank you very much, Cal. Appreciate it, love. Appreciate you coming on. Yeah, look, with the Henderson thing, I said my stuff yesterday on Henderson. You know, I think it's time for Hendo to leave the football club. That's just my opinion, you know. People want him to stay there. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. At the end of the
One
day,
more
but-
year, then he can go.
Right, let's get Jenny on. Jenny from the block. How you
Hi,
doing?
Jenny from the block. Man. What?
Yo,
How you doing,
How you
Jen?
been, Jenny?
I'm playing I'm playing hockey goal yesterday.
Yeah, Bill.
A cookie goal. So I'm not feeling too good at the minute, but yeah.
Your hearing's
Hopefully, you
not
start
so good.
feeling a bit better then.
Yes, yeah.
What did the doctor say? What did the doctor say?
I got in 3 weeks to get it out.
Okay. Get checked out. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate hospital with a cracker.
Yeah.
Aye,
we'll wait
same here, man. I do not like going in them places. Honestly, I go in there and start panicking. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here.
No, they're the worst places, man. They're the worst places. So, Jen, what is your question today?
I really want Hendo to leave. I really want.
I expect better from you, Jen.
Hendo to leave. Like really want. So yes. I will get the armband to Crank and Arnold or Mo Salah.
Trent as captain on Mo Salah ends.
Yeah.
I think Virgil first, then Trent. Yeah. Look, Virgil was the captain when Henderson ain't on the pitch, isn't he? So
Jen
I think if there's anyone in line to take it,
Jen ain't happy
it's
with the
gonna be
Virgil
him.
comment. She ain't happy with the Virgil.
I don't think he is a good leader on the pitch. So, yeah.
That's a fair enough point. She doesn't think he's good enough leader on the pitch. You know, a lot of people have said that, namely Van der Vaart and Ruud Gullit lately.
but Jen and
They've gone into him, man.
Yeah, I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be respectful. Sometimes you don't have to be. That's nonsense to say he's not a leader on the pitch. Honestly, because you don't make it as a Premier League player. Klopp, that we rate as a manager, he's not giving Virgil van Dijk the captain's armband. The players around him ain't going to listen to him if he isn't a great leader. So, no, man, I can't knock the guy and say he's not a great leader. And the other guys that they're talking about, what did they actually do for club and country as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't leaders themselves, so I know you can argue, but no, I'll give it to him, Jen. And then Trent is my guy. I think he's the guy still.
I think Trent's
No,
the
it's Korea group at the minute.
in the leader group.
Yeah.
I think
Trent is in there. Robbo,
Robbo, Trent,
Virg,
Virgil,
Hendo.
and Hendo, Mo. I think.
Mo, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's ones. I think that's the ones, Jen. So Jen, you all right, Lo?
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Excellent, Jen's a
I
superstar.
can't eat any hot juice
No.
Okay.
I got milk all week. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Right,
I'll be eating hot food soon. Don't worry.
just go and get loads of McDonald's milkshakes, Jen. You'll be absolutely fine. You know.
Get some fruit smoothies. You'll be good.
You'll be good, Jen. Glad to see you again, Jen. We'll talk to you again
Okay.
soon. Yeah.
See
Yeah.
you later, Jen.
See you later, Jen.
Bye.
See you later, Jen.
Bye.
Superstar. Absolutely superstar. Next up, Daryl, are you? Oh, that's back it. Daryl, are you ready, my man? Let's get Daryl on there.
How are we doing, Jamie?
You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I'm just a bit annoyed about the Henderson stuff, really. I think he's a leader. And we should never even consider getting rid of him.
Yeah, look, I've always said he's a great captain and great leader. So I'm on your one on that. I'm just on about, for me personally, I'm thinking about him 33 years of age. We need to start moving forward as a football team. Maybe, look, they're going to have to go eventually. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, like what ends? You've been talking about the leadership, ain't you?
No, I think so. For me personally, look, I'm not saying you need to keep him forever at the football club. I'm not naive enough to think, there's not an expirational date on a player. But I think based on the players that we've lost this season, you still need to keep him for this season. See how it goes. If it's not great, get rid of him in the summer. I'm sure Gerrard would still want him if he still does. And then you can start transitioning and getting other players in and building a new leadership group or adding someone extra to it. But to kind of just get rid of him because we hear that there's some money being offered, it's kind of crazy to me, because certain things that leaders can offer, and there's certain games that he's come on and kind of dragged us through the game. We've seen that how Klopp used to use Milner, would come on, win a few tackles, get the boys, concentrating again. Because there's times when we switch off and you do need that player to come on and fix those little issues that's happening and echoes what the manager wants. You can't just get rid of all these players and expect you get in 4 or 5 new midfielders and think it's just going to click straight away and everything's going to be rosy. Sometimes it takes time. But as I said, I'm not saying we should keep him forever. I'm just saying not this season. Next season, do what you need to do with him. But this season, we're going to need him, especially with the new boys coming in. You're going to need a player like him in the dressing room, helping them through as well. And then if we get in a Lavia as well, another young kid coming in, if that's the guy everyone's saying they want, of course, man, you're going to need a player like Henderson in there to kind of help him go through his day-to-day and stuff like that. But just my opinion, unpopular at times, but it is what it is.
Anything else, Daryl?
Yeah, I just on the Lavia stuff, I'm not convinced on the kid, to be honest with you. I think there's so much more out there than a bloke who's been relegated from Premier League.
Yeah, look, the Lavia one is. I don't know. Liverpool obviously really like him, but as you say, there's DMs out there that have cost around the same sort of money. Something about him that Liverpool like. Thing is, though, Arsenal like him as well, and Chelsea like him. So he's obviously a talent. But I've always said I think it's a year too soon for us to buy Lavia. I think we need to get more experienced players in now, and then maybe buy Lavia the following year.
Klopp will get the best out of him anyway. He always does. So
yeah, he's a definitely talented player, man. It's definitely. What do you reckon, Ins?
Same, really. I think we need someone ready-made now, and that's why I want Thuram more. If you want to go and get a Kona, but Thuram more, I want him because I can see the attributes he can bring, and sometimes you need those type of players, man. That's going to be running around bullying players. I'm not saying Lavia hasn't got the ability to eventually do it, but he's a year off where I think he needs to be. He's just a year off. He's still quite young. He's only had half a season, a year in the Premier League. But transitioning to Liverpool, and with the state of how the fan base is going on at the moment, comes in and starts, people going past him, 1-2s are going around him. Everyone be turning around and saying what a waste of money. After in the first couple of months, they were saying what a great player he is. So I don't know, man. I need a ready-made player. I need a player now that's ready to come in. Because Jamie, as I said, I don't want to go into this season and just compete. I want to go and win every trophy this season.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I actually thought Kone was one.
Yeah, Kone. I think Liverpool wanted him for the injury. I think that's the one.
Before the injury, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the injury, I think he's out for 3 months. But yeah, Liverpool ain't going to touch him, no doubt. Daryl, big up, man. We're going to keep the thing moving on. Back. Come on again,
Big
too,
up,
man.
bro.
See you later, my man. Big up, Daryl. There, big up, Daryl. Yeah, I mean, I've always said with Lavia, I think he's a bit of a gamble, and can Liverpool afford to take a gamble this year? That's my issue with it. If we got ready-made players in this year already, and Lavia was available next year, I'll be like, go and get him because we've already got the ready-made players. And then go and get that player. It ain't so much of a gamble. It's asking a lot for him to come in, and then if Fabinho goes on one of his seasons like he did last year, you're gonna have to play the kid straight away, and then that's Southampton badge, that Liverpool badge. It's a big step up.
Big difference, man.
All right,
Big
playing
difference.
DM for Southampton in the struggling team when you're not meant to shine, it's a different world, man. It's a different world. Let's get our next guy in. Let's get Gary in. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Are you there, Gary?
Hello, boys. You all right?
Gary.
How's it going?
Good,
good.
Jamie, you all right, boys? Right, chat?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. Doing good.
Just been
Doing good. How's you?
Listening to, yeah, good, thanks. Just been listening to everybody destroying Henderson, which I do find a little bit amusing, really. It's like it's like all his achievements that he's had at the club mean nothing, and just because he's 33, let's chip him on because he's on 200 grand a week. Well, he actually earned that wage for all the years of service. So I don't really care about the wages. You know, it's not coming out of our pocket. And what he brings, obviously, on the training field and example-wise, is valuable. And I just think that you've got a problem where you've got two, like Enz was saying, you've got to bed 2 guys in to the club. You've got a young Harvey Elliott who's playing this kind of role that is not a right centre mid role, but he's playing it to cover last season. And then you've got Hendo, and then you've got McAllister, who's obviously going to play the right side of midfield. So I don't see it being too bad, really, being a rotational system. So with all the cups we've got, we can rotate out McAllister for a League Cup game or FA Cup, put Hendo in, or Elliott, or change the system as we've done. But I do get fed up with this, like, hunting of Hendo. You can't dismiss a guy and say, oh, he's not a footballer and all this, when the guy's a Premier League footballer who's won the Champions League and won the Premier League for us and captain the side. Nobody was saying this stuff 19, 20, 21, 22, when we was getting the 90 points. Everybody's entitled to have a drop-off. But his actual hard work and time he's missed is literally 0. You look at him and Thiago. Thiago, since he signed, has missed, on average, 19 matches a season. Every season. Now, he's played the first few seasons he was there. He played about 30 games and done quite well. But there's been a gradual drop-off with him. But he's on about 180 grand a week. But I don't hear anybody tearing into him. And...
Yeah, great.
Everybody knows that there's going to be a phasing out, don't they? And everybody's got their opinion, and it's fair enough. But you can't just wipe the board and go, all the old ones can go, and we get rid of Henderson and rely on Elliott and Bajcetic, who are very young. Now we see in games, Bajcetic is very talented and can play the holding role or a bit more forward. And he did actually play against Villa in that RCM role. He was up and down, scored that great goal. And I think he can move eventually into that role that will force Elliott further up the pitch. With the CDM role, that's the more area I'm really annoyed at, because Fabinho, for me, showed nothing last season. Every time I watched a watch along with you, Jamie, and we sat here, we used to say to each other, I'll put to you, sorry, in the comment. I would say to you, Fabinho. He screamed literally nothing last season. There was no aggression from him at all. And it's supposed to be like a back five system that we played, with that 4-3-3. And yet he never screamed anything. He never got out to the wing. He never protected the centre halves. The left-hand side every time was exposed and just relying on Robbo just to get back, or Van Dijk to stop players running in. The amount of times centre midfielders run past him. He is the one out of all of them that's got the most saleability and should be moved on at 29 years of age. I think he's done. Now, he's achieved a lot of the club, but at his age, he's a saleable asset. And the other two are actually experienced and actually bring some intelligence to the midfield. Or, Thiago's got some intelligence and Hendo's got a little bit of iron about him. An example. But like Enz and you guys were saying earlier, Thuram is the only CDM I've seen that is the right age and profile to fit in that role and develop. The other, Kone is good, he's talented, but I see a lot of problems with his game where he doesn't pass the ball forward very well. He's a very good, energetic guy, but he's not what I'd say the world's best passer. And I know Fabinho was never, Kimmich or nothing like that. But even the interesting thing I was talking to my mates down the pub about was what about if Trent slipped into that 6 role, and done it like Kimmich, where you can watch Kimmich the whole game and never see him go on the floor, but actually on the ball he's very talented. Maybe we could play that way. They're the only I mean, we all know that they're getting old. They're 33, 32, Thiago. They're on their way up. But you cannot just say that they're rubbish and all this. They've given service to the club, and they deserve at least another year, I think. But I don't know where I'm rambling. Sorry, guys.
Gary.
No, great call, man.
Gary, great call, man. Great call. So what we'll do, we'll get you off now, and me and then to chat this up.
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks a lot.
Cheers,
glad I got 2 people that agreed still. I thought
Gary's right, man. Look, my view is that I just want Henderson to be moved on either this summer or next summer, because I just want to see the team changing. But I never go after Hendo. Look, I paid money for his book, man. They come in. I just feel like it's time for him to go on a personal level. That's all. But I'm not going to attack him. I think too many people are attacking him at the moment, and I don't think that's too right. If you don't want him to be at the club, you don't want him to be at the club. But put it like Gary just put it. That's how I'll do it. If you don't want him there, you don't want him there. Just move on. And there's too much of an attack on him at the moment. Look, we all know what his qualities are. I don't think we need to be told how good of a footballer he is and all this sort of stuff. We watch him on the weekly. We know. But football's a weird thing because it's one of the sports where it's not just about the quality of what you do with the ball that counts in this game at times. So it's a difficult one with the Endo. Endo is splitting the fan base like and something mad, ain't he? I am shocked to see how people are positive for him. So many people are negative for him. There's no in between with Hendo is basically the footballer in Marmite, ain't he?
You know what? Bring me back the days, man, when we could just go, he's not good enough. I think it's time for him to go. At the moment, he just feels too toxic, man. It's just like, we get it. I want him to be gone as well, but I know when the right time is. Can't just get rid of all of our midfielders and bring in all new midfielders and expect it to work. Because then all we're going to do is turn around and blame all the other guys, the new guys now.
Yeah, you can't do that. You got to have some of the old guy. You got to have some of the old guard there to welcome in the new ones and all that. And then the following year, then players should be transitions and you can move them out. That's why I've said it for a while now, a 12-month period from this summer to next summer where the whole transition takes place. We're going to bring, I think it's Jar Barry. If I've messed that name up, I apologise. But big up, my man. Oh,
you're on mute.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
No, still can't hear you. Nah. Can't hear you, bro, at all. Click in and click out. I think that's probably the best one. I'll plug the headphones in and plug back in. I don't know.
Yeah, try and take the headphones out. Take the
Still
headphones.
can't
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
live. You are live.
Yeah.
Yo, you see these cheap little things here? I have to put them down to one side. Not working for me, you get me. Old fashioned's the best, isn't it? Big up, Jamie.
Yeah.
Big up, my brethren, man. Respect, man. You know what I mean?
Big up.
I watch. I don't really talk much, but I jump in now and then. Jamie knows me from a little bit earlier on the days when you started up in it, bro, and you're going on well. So keep up the works, my brother. You know what I mean?
Man, cheers, my man. How you been?
I'm being good, you know. Just family, you know, watching, seeing what's going on with Liverpool, you know, watching yourself, watching the others, you know, commenting about what might happen. It's been good so far. In fact, we brought in 2 midfielders. You know, we're getting to the point now where we're realizing that if we change and bring in some additional midfielders, that it's going to tip the balance in terms of this change in the midfield. And I think there's some anxieties about, obviously, if we lose Henderson, whether we're going to lose that kind of old knowledge, that know-how, how to play on the pitch, that kind of, you know, those kind of systems and the way they build up those attacks and whatnot. But what you said earlier, Jamie, ring with me insofar as that it's what you do off the ball. And I think a lot of people don't give enough appreciation to off the ball tactics with football and how people interact in different positions off the ball. If somebody's not supporting you, like for instance in central midfield, it's going to make you commit even more, which is going to make you look silly, diving for tackles, and people are going to think, well, this man's rash, this man ain't really doing what he's supposed to. So when you've got someone to support you, you got a general in the army ready to support you and doing that work, it lightens the load. So when the balance and the scales are equal. So for me, the point I'm getting to is that for people like Fabinho, he needs that additional support. And for me, he was the only central midfielder holding that down for a long time. And in that position, one midfielder in a defensive role, I think guys need to realize how much work that is, you know, bro.
No, people don't know, bro. Running around in there is mad.
I think people don't. If I played midfield and I had to cover man, run left and right, over here, over that, and sometimes some people just rely on you to do that work. And when you're not got that ability which you had previously before, then you start to see the shortcomings. And for me, that's what's happened with Fabinho. I know I went the long way around to seeing it with people, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, that's the impact upon Fabinho. But I don't think he's the same player. But with those new additions, you'll see him performing a bit better. And I think the key issue so far is the defence now and making sure that we've got someone to support Van Dijk or Konate. If Trent's going to move into midfield, then we need a right back, and that's definite. And one thing I say about midfield with Trent, you still have to run back, you know. Don't think in midfield you don't have to run back, you know. Why people think you're in midfield, you don't have to run back. You don't just go one way, you know. You got to come back. So if you're not coming back, other people are going to be exposed, which is going to lead to more mistakes. So I think people need to be conscientious of that as well, you know. So yes, people, just put some life into the air and just, you know, give my opinions and views, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. Look, we do need, we still do need that on the pitch. You do need players who know what to do off the ball, not just on the ball. And that's the important. It's a great call, my man. It's a great call.
Sorry, bro. Just like one more bowling attempt, like with Elliot. Elliot, amazing on the ball, could do amazing things, but when he's trying to hunt down people, it's like a little 5-year-old chasing big man. And that's always going to be an issue. That's all, brother. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, no, it's
true. That's always going to be an issue. Even if he's banging in the goals and whatnot.
Everything you're saying, I've echoed the same thing.
Yeah,
I've echoed it with Fab. I've echoed it with Elliot, because I said the guy just runs around. He
Man,
just
just
looks
lap
busy,
after
but not
him.
doing nothing.
Man, just
He
lap
just
after
looks
him, kick the
busy.
ball around him.
It's like when you play football, you little kid. Like I've got a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
When you're playing football,
bro.
he runs.
But Jamie, how's that going to change?
I'll boot my kid in the air. That's how it changes.
Oh, man, bro. All right then, but yeah, I've had my little let off now. I can relax, man, do my thing anyway. But yo, thanks for hearing me and listening to me, man.
No worries,
Keep up
mate.
the work. Thank you, my brother, man. Keep it up, man.
That's
You're
up.
both really
Appreciate
good
it,
and
man.
work together well, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, take
Love
it
for that.
easy. Bless up, yeah?
Bless
Very
up,
safe.
man.
Cheers,
Yeah,
man.
safe.
Yeah, great call. LFC Aaron was chat. Big up Jamie and Ends. Great channel.
Big up,
Great
bro.
community. Love it. Big up to you, man. As always.
Big
Much
up.
love.
Big up.
Aaron, you didn't have to do that. Big up to you. Guys, there's some I don't know if anyone's seen it, just hit Twitter. A certain Sam Wallace has put out an exclusive from Real Madrid's finances. They have $122 million of costs that are unexplained in the latest results. UEFA's FFP regulations tested by new financing arrangements. So Real Madrid have got 122 million that's come out of nowhere, and it's unexplained costs. So
Was that from last season?
last season, yeah, some
Okay, I was about to say,
unexplained.
is that the Jude money that they just somehow?
Some
Right, that's
unexplained costs there on Real Madrid's half. Right, let's get the man that everyone loves, the man with the catchphrase. Bruno, how you doing, mate?
Right. First of all, I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off right here, right now.
Go
Right?
for it.
First of all, right, Henderson has been a brilliant servant for Liverpool, right? He's been a brilliant servant for Liverpool. He's done some fabulous things for Liverpool, right? But it's time to go. It's time to move on, okay? We've got to stop this sentimentality crap, man. How old is he? He's 33. He's 33. And also, not just him, Fabinho, pack your bags and get out. It's time to go. Au revoir. You've done good things. That goal against Man City, I'll never forget that goal. You've done some fabulous things. That goal against Crystal Palace, screamer of a shot, edge of the box, flipping John on a race of that ball in the top corner. Yeah? But it's time to go. The guy's done. He can't do it anymore. Right? His job is to protect the back four, right? That's your job. Your job is to make sure that the other attackers, yeah, don't get to our defense. That's your job. He can't do it anymore, right? Games against Real Madrid, what did he do? Games against Napoli, what did he do? We got battered. Games against Manchester City away, what happened in that game? And that's not just for Fabinho, for Henderson, and what they do. 4-1. Yeah, 4-1. That game was dead. Yeah, absolutely dead. The Real Madrid game, 2-0 up. What happened? We got battered by a flipping 37-year-old Luka Modric. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Luka Modric, who's 37. Yeah? What, you want to keep these guys until they're flipping 165 years old? Is that what you man want to do? You want to keep the guy here till he's flipping, until he's 85 years old, yeah? Like, no, man, we don't do that here. That's what Arsenal did in flipping 14-15 when they tried to keep flipping Ozil, who was flipping done in when he was 34, 35 years old. And how did that turn out? Didn't end very well, did it? That's why Arsenal fans went bananas. Yeah? I want to see winning. I expect trophies next season. I want to see a title challenge. None of this top four crap, yeah? If we don't improve, and by the way, what's the date today? Because the French had already played their under-21s match. So where's this so-called Thuram deal? Where is it? I thought they said they was going to sign Thuram. So go on, FSG. Come on, get it done then. The tournament's finished. So where in the name of garbage, where in the name of sardines is this deal done? Where is it? Huh? I thought this deal, this should have been done ages ago. Come on. They're waiting until the French had been knocked out. Well, come on. It's been 3 weeks since they've been knocked out. So where in the name of garbage is this? And also, Real Madrid, apparently they've been doing something dodgy with their finances. Where is the same energy for Manchester City? I have to put it in the air. Where is this? 115 charges, but the flipping FA are taking flipping 20 years to get this done. So where in the name of garbage? Have the same energy, please. Unless you guys want to sit here and you lot want to see trophies, this is how it works, right? In 2020-21, Henderson should have left. 21-22 season, Thiago should have left. And then last season, the season when we almost did the quadruple, Fabinho should have left. That's what should have happened. But because that didn't happen, now he's been left with egg on his face. I told you lot, this is 1990-91 season. And I got scolded for it. And now look where we are. These players are done. It's over. It's finished. We have to move on. We have to evolve. I want to see trophies. Man City just went and did the quadruple. No, they just went and did the treble. They just did the treble. They just won 3 trophies in a row. That's what I want to see Liverpool doing. The Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. That's what I want to see Liverpool do. I want to see winning. And if Klopp's going to sit here and do this whole, let's keep them until they're 190, then pack your bags and leave the club. Because he's part of the problem. Like I said, FSG and him are sleeping in the same bed. Yeah? They're basically sleeping together, and that's not good. They need to be separated. None of this sleeping together crap. You either step up or you pack your bags. We're none of this. We don't accept finishing. Because guess where that is? That's Tottenham, who, by the way, you know that thing that I was talking about on Coppish TV when I said that Arsenal are the bridesmaid, yeah? How they're basically Stacey and Bradley in EastEnders, yeah? They're also flipping Stella Crawford and Phil Mitchell from 2007, yeah? And we all know how that ended. That didn't end very well, did it?
I don't know. How did it end? I can't remember. Is that when she got pushed off the roof? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it didn't end very well, did it? Yeah. That's what Arsenal are, by the way. That's a bit of banter for Mr. Gobby. If you must know, Mr. Gobby is Gunnar Lee, who got absolutely schooled on Friday night, on that Friday night calling show. So, just a warning to that guy. Don't you dare disrespect Salah or you're going to get done for. There's a bit of banter.
Surely no one disrespects Salah. What's there
No. This guy was saying that Salah was that, saying Salah was this, Salah was that. I was like, no, you're disrespecting Salah. How many goals has your Saka scored, mate? Has he scored 30 goals a season? Yeah, he scored 30 goals a season. And by the way, just like I said, Arsenal are the bridesmaid. They're giving Manchester City away. They gave Manchester City away. Manchester City was the bride. Arsenal was the bridesmaid. Yeah? Put that in the dictionary right there, because that's what Arsenal are, yeah? We don't accept finishing second. We are the bride. I expect trophies next season. If there's no trophy, then FSG and Klopp they've got serious problems. Anyway, I better get going because others are waiting in the background. I don't want to take too long. Otherwise, these men are going to be going after me. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Bruno, love you, man. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bruno, man. He's a character. I love the guy. I love Go on, Enz. What are you gonna say?
Nah, I keep my thoughts to myself. I keep my thoughts on this one. I'll just keep it to myself.
Fair enough.
Who's next?
Let's get Ram in. Big up, Ram. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been one hell of a day, man. One hell of a week. But last time I spoke to you, though, we only signed McAllister, but now we signed Szoboszlai, and still the fan base are in a bit of a divide. Is weird. It's weird. But I want to just quickly say on this Hendo thing, yeah. I've said this before. He in the top level is not good enough for us. However, the way we're moving in the transfer window, which I don't mind us getting all these players in, moving a little bit too fast for us to get rid of all the old guard just yet.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's way too fast. If you talk about any like successful side that tried to keep their dominance, they always had a remnants of the old guard with the new guard along. Like you talk about your Man United when Roy Keane was still there, when the likes of Rooney and Ronaldo were coming up through the ranks. I'm saying, would it hurt to keep Henderson for another season? Because let's be honest, I don't think there's any real concrete news about Saudi Arabia or any of the Saudi clubs coming in for or Al Attifaq to come in with a £20 million offer. Like, I don't think is real. I don't know where the stories were coming about. I do hope to God that Henderson is not manufacturing it like there have been reports that he did when he wanted that new contract after we won the league title that season. I do hope to God that's not true, but I don't understand why people want everything to go so quickly and just cause even more uncertainty in my opinion. At least when you have a couple of the old guards still there, you kind of know what's the expectation, what's the standards that are going to be set. If you have too much of a change, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And I guarantee you this, if we do end up selling Henderson, do we as a fan base trust FSG and Liverpool to get a midfielder signing done before the end of before the start of the season? Sorry.
I don't know. I think I was going to ask you this question, Ram. I was going to say, do you think Liverpool's next transfer is a defender or a midfielder?
He's a defender.
I think he's a defender as well.
Defender. I think Klopp is not an idiot, man. Klopp is not an idiot. And he knows he's playing a back three system and he's playing a left back, a left-sided centre-back. I love Robbo, but he's getting killed at that left-hand side. Yeah. Like it's really, really. It's like you're asking like an Ashley Cole to play as a centre-back. Like you don't do that. It's like you're asking Dennis Irwin to play as a centre-back. Like no one in their right mind does that. Like, and I feel as though it's something that we desperately need because let's be honest, we can't rely on Matip or Gomez. Konate we can barely rely on, not because of how bad he is, but he just doesn't stay fit. We always get a couple of knee injuries every season and all that kind of stuff. Like it's something that we need to do. And having a left-sided centre-back opens up so many gateways into how we're going to come up against teams. We could play a free back. We could play a two at the back, one right-sided centre-back, one left-sided centre-back. Run right-footed centre-back, the other left-footed centre-back. Opens so many doorways and how we can be a much more dominant outfit for teams to come. But I'm going to leave this with a question to you guys. There's an off-topic on Liverpool.
Go on.
Bastian Schweinsteiger came out. I'm aiming this more at Enz, yeah, because I think Enz will be a little bit more interested in this.
Go
on, bro.
Bastian Schweinsteiger came out a couple of days ago. I'll put the article in the chat for you guys to read it. He's come out and criticized Pep Guardiola for almost destroying German football. And that's why the German under-21s are not doing well. That's why all the German under-21s, under-19s, under-17s are not progressing well. And he puts a lot of the blame to what Pep Guardiola done to Bayern Munich and how that manifested to the German FA and completely changed the identity of German football. I'll leave it at that.
I heard this story. I've heard bits about this. I remember it might have been Schweinsteiger at the time. I think it was Robben and Ribéry as well that said they didn't enjoy Pep Guardiola's style of football when he was at Bayern Munich. And they said they weren't as good as they should have been, or even though they won the German league, but they win the German league anyway. I've heard this. I've heard people say this about Pep. You know, that's mad, though. That's mad. You considering a coach.
No, just because everywhere he goes, though, it goes through the whole club, doesn't it? In terms of his philosophy, from top to bottom, he does. When he goes in, he doesn't just change the first team; it's everyone from the academy up. Yeah, it has to change. So I can see his point because they don't really play like the German style anymore,
bro.
It's more like a Spanish.
No, the German style is the antithesis of the Spanish style. Because you think about the 1970s, it was the Dutch versus the Germans. Efficiency over technical ability. Pace and power versus flair. Everything that the Dutch stood for, and that's basically what Spanish football is. Germany was the antithesis of that. And I kind of see what he's doing. I kind of see what he's saying, but it's a yes or no in my opinion. You can't put all the blame on Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola does what he does. It's on the German FA.
Do you know the reason why? Is because naturally when Pep took out, a lot of the German players was in that team, innit? So that then fed straight through to the German team, national team. So I could see what he's saying. Could be a good little conversation to be had still, because even in like England now, there's like a few. I'm like, the way now things are changing, man, because everyone's trying to play like Pep now.
And I got there, and people saying there is a solution, and it involves our manager.
Pep out the league.
No, it involves Klopp being German manager and sort of bringing German football back to what it was normally had to be. Because when it comes to German football, the FA all comes down to the manager of German football, the Germany national team, and it sort of spreads like pollen, if you get what I mean. So I
say Liverpool play under Klopp is a German way. You know, when we was at our best, it's that efficient German way. You know, that's why we were successful.
P&P.
You know,
but he's slightly changed now, isn't he? Because he's seen that.
And do you know who's the prime example? Jamal Musiala.
Yeah.
He's the prime example of what
he doesn't play like a German, does he?
He doesn't, because you think about all the shadow strikers they had, your Mullers and your Fullers and your Klinsmans.
But then, just a quick one though, in terms of having Musiala, but he grew up in the UK system, so
but when
maybe we'd have to use a different style player.
You know, when you go into your adolescent years, that's where your knowledge of the game starts to become a lot more diverse, and you know how you style your game, and that's where when he went to Germany when Pep was there. So I'm just saying.
Fair point, man. Fair point.
I ain't trying to get rid of Klopp, bro, to go over there to fix that, bro. That's long.
No. But Ends, you know me. At some point, we all know Klopp is a nationalist. We all know he's a massive nationalist. At some point, he's gonna go to Germany. At some point,
yeah, he has to. He will.
But I'll let you guys discuss this, man. I'm gonna let the people talk, man. But yeah, big up as always.
Big up, man.
Appreciate
See you guys soon.
See you later, bro. Keep Hendo. That's what he said.
Keep Hendo. That's what he said. It's a bad one, ain't it? It's I haven't really thought about it like that. I remember articles coming out and River. I think it was Robin really talking about it. Saying like he didn't really enjoy playing under Pep Guardiola and the way Pep played and all that. Maybe they're saying it. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe football's just changed now, and Germany got to change with it. I'm not sure, but they are known for their efficiency in everything they do. You know, best cars are German for a reason, guys. You know what I mean? It's, you know, they're just super efficient at what they do. Right, let's get Paul in here. Big up, Paul.
Big up, Paul.
You there, Paul?
Yeah.
Hey,
Big
Paul,
up, mate.
turn your telly down, mate. I can hear your telly.
So I got to turn the background off, mate. Sorry. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. I got a few things to comment on previous callers. Cat Neto's army.
Go for
talking nonsense about Elliott being better than Jones. I can't have that, mate. Got to put that one to bed. That man is never going to be a Liverpool player. I'm very sorry to say it, but he's not. So that's my opinion. I'll just start there with that one. And also this Bastian Schweinsteiger nonsense about Pep ruining German football. Just remember, Germany won the World Cup with that style of football in 2014. Let's not forget that.
I can't even remember 2014, to be fair.
Yeah, the World Cup in Brazil.
Oh, the World Cup in Brazil.
They battered Brazil in their own backyard, 7-1 in their own backyard.
I don't know if it was Pep's way. I think they were just super efficient.
They played good football as well. Yeah, they're pacing good, decent football,
Hmm.
which is it wasn't totally Pep style, but it was almost. It was building. It was a slow build up, ticky tacky, and they won the World Cup with that style of football.
Maybe that's another argument to it. If they
Yeah.
played this way, they won a World Cup. I mean, there's it could be a counter argument. Could be a counter argument.
Yeah, and also the Hendo thing. I'm with everyone else. I think he has to go. If all he's got to offer is leadership, then and nothing else, and he's got to go. Simple as that. Pushing players around and yelling at them in their faces when he's playing absolutely donkey style football. Then you know the writings on the wall. He's got to see the front door, and he's got to be given his P45 and sent to another club. Simple as that.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
And if you ain't got nothing to offer physically, never mind that he's got limitations when he has the ball at his feet, then what else can you offer? That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, look, the Hendo thing is going to split the fan base till the day he probably leaves.
I notice it has been. I would say there's a majority in favour of him going rather than him staying. That's just my opinion from what I see. Yeah,
it's a strange one. It's a strange one, no doubt.
Yeah.
But anything else, Paul?
Oh yes, Levi Corville. My
it.
opinion on that one. I think this is going to be a rerun of the Benham saga. We're going to be twerking our asses, hoping he's coming, looking out for him, looking for every piece of hope, saying, such as he's a Liverpool fan, or his dad's a Liverpool fan, or his second cousin's a Liverpool fan. The point to the fact that he's going to be a Liverpool player. I know, and it's going to repeat. It's exactly the same kind of pattern as the Bellingham thing. And I've got a couple of alternatives that we should just move on and get a reasonably priced centre back who are just as good as him, in my personal opinion. I mean, just remember, Colville's not a proven player, mate. We're expected to pay £70 million for a player that's unproven.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. So.
And he's not going to get any game time either. Or he might not get that much game time. Yeah.
If Levi Colwill came in, he's obviously coming in for a reason to spend that much money on him. So are they going to go free at the back? Then he plays there. I'm not sure. I mean, it would compete. It would give Virgil rest time. That's definitely for sure. Give Virgil rest time. But then it's for the future. It's for 10 years, ain't it? You got one of your future centre backs signed up for the next decade, and you ain't got to worry about it. I suppose. Maybe that's the way they're looking at it.
Well, I've got a few options. There's a player called Strahinja Pavlovic, who plays for RB Salzburg.
Yeah,
we can get him for a cheap. He's next with a mixture of Guardiola and Nemanja Vidic, if you remember him.
Yeah,
he could be a good alternative. And Facunda Medina, who G was looking at earlier. If you look, he's got a little profile on his channel on that particular player. That could be a good sign as well, rather than spend £70 million on a 20-year-old unproven, in my personal opinion.
I'll check it out. Big up, Paul.
Paul.
Always a pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me on again.
Always, man.
Paul, man.
Take care, mate. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right, next up, we'll go get John in the house. How you doing, John?
Yo, guys. Hope you guys are well.
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. Is that Star Wars cosplay you got on in that picture?
Yeah, from years ago, Years ago.
Big up. I'm all for the Star Wars fan stuff, so don't worry about that. Star Wars friendly over here. But how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing well. So yeah, I'm just gonna stress out End some more and talk about the Hender stuff some more because
Nah, do your thing, man. I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen, man. I'm here to listen, bro.
So apparently, there was another caller who said that if you want Hendo out, you've forgotten everything he's done. So should I just run a list of everything he's done so I make sure I haven't forgotten?
Go on
Or
then,
Isaiah,
run your
what
list.
about?
Run your list.
So So he was captain through the what's it called, the Super League. He's been captain through some very difficult times with the owners. I'm pretty sure he's been, he's been very good with the Black Lives Matter and all this type of stuff. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that we are thankful for Henderson, but that doesn't mean we're not allowed to want him to go. And I personally am with a few of the other callers that just went that want him to go. I mean, for me, the reason why is because we left this too long. These older players should have been let go over a period of years already. But we know our ownership, and it seems like they're actually doing something for once in the summer. So while we are doing stuff, I'd rather we get as much done as possible right now. So I'd get rid of as much of them as I could. But obviously, again, a lot of people, we haven't said as well that maybe, who knows, next summer. I know N said next summer he would get rid of Henderson, but what if there is no offers next summer and he has a year left? What, do we just stuck with him then for another year? So for me, if there is an offer, but like you said, if there may not be one, but if there is, I would cash in now and get someone else in. But yeah, and I would get Thuram in because I wanted Thuram since the start of the summer. But
yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, I think Colwell is also going to be a tough one because Chelsea are going to overcharge. It's just as simple as that. I mean, if they got 60 mil for Mount with 1 year left and he wanted to leave, and Colwell has, I think, 2 years left, and so far he's not said he wants to leave. So if he forces a move, I imagine it's going to be around that price, because I don't think Todd's going to want to get swindled either. So, and I think I agree with most people when they said, for me, it's about 40 million. I think is his actual value. But I think they would want to get 60 to 70, which I don't know. I feel like we could probably get like someone else from around for probably about 20 million less, who's not at Chelsea. I think we could get someone else. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's fair points, man. This Henderson thing is go and go. I'm telling you, everyone's got to have their opinions. I understand everyone's opinions. I understand people wanting to keep him at the club. I understand people's opinions of wanting him to leave as well. It is very, if you're bringing up good discussions and good points about both sides, I think me and Enns can understand it, really. But it's the people that the thing that's me is the people that are going for Hendo.
Yeah, that's wrong. I agree with that. Yeah,
that's out of order because he's been a great leader. People don't think, there's people out there who just don't think he's a great leader, he's a great captain or anything like that, and they're just going for him. Look, at the end of the day, Hendo has been at Liverpool for 12 years, and he's pretty much played all the time unless he's injured in that 12 years. It's a long time. So you've got to eventually move on. He's not, it's not Steven Gerrard. He's not that caliber of midfielder. It's just, in my opinion, it's his time to move on. In Enz's opinion, it's his time to stay. But, the debates that everyone's having, we can all understand. That's the thing. We can all understand everyone's opinions on it. But,
Yeah, but I think from last season, though, we saw that he wasn't. When he played, he had. I wouldn't go too harsh on him and said he never played well. I think he had some good games where he gave us some good performances, but I'd say maybe like 75% were probably under average, where he was disappointing. But I feel like the why you would keep him now is a lot of hypotheticals and outside of the pitch stuff where nothing is a guarantee. But I think that if you get money for him, there are some also things that are not a guarantee, but everything after this point is a gamble because he's getting older and it could get worse. And if it get worse, you might not be able to sell him next season. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Fair point, bro.
Great call. Yeah, again, John.
Yes, guys.
I'll see
Big
you
up,
back
John, man.
again soon, man.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
All right, next one we've got to run through these. Dean is in the house. Dean, how you doing, man? Dean?
Dean's watching TV right now.
Dean's so what, how can the TV be more interesting, Dean?
Yeah, you caught me off guard, man. I'm with my homie.
These men are talking nonsense, man. Let me watch some TV.
Otherwise, you guys are good.
Good, man. Hope you're good as well, man.
You did. Yeah, man. Yo, I was really like prepared to talk about Hendo, but I think everybody has been grilling Hendo, John. So now I'm feeling bad now. Everything that I had prepared, I'm like,
on the other side.
It's gonna seem like we have an agenda against him. That's crazy.
Go for your one, man. Go for your one.
It's gonna seem because I don't want to seem like I have an agenda, but the thing is, for me, with the Henderson situation, I don't look at it like it's his fault. He's done his bits and he's done what he could. What he was capable of, anyways. I think we all knew that he wasn't really a very good player on the field. We knew this, and as people seem to forget that we always knew, and that's the same blueprint I see in Jones. He doesn't. He's slightly better talent-wise, but that's the same profile. Jones and Hendo, they don't really have any specialty. They just like average good players. They're very good at defending, very good at passing, very good at. He doesn't really have, because every player you must have something that can stand out. There's no way that you have to be good at everything. That was the Hendo profile. That's the Jones. Unless maybe if Jones or somebody teaches Jones to be more, to specialize in something that could be, maybe he can be a defender or you can be like, box to box mid or something. I think he needs to develop in that. And I blame, this is why I say I don't blame Hendo, is because I blame Klopp for everything. He never really, because of the way we play and because we develop the way we develop our youngsters, we don't give them a chance to feature in more games, to have like a run of games so that they can develop.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ends, what do you reckon, man?
Has he gone?
His internet's gone, I think.
I don't know. It sounded like he was on the Henderson train, so I don't know. I was waiting to see how he finished up. But no, some great points there. Look, I think everyone's kind of have forgot, but at the same time, I can't blame everyone for wanting him gone. Like, I understand we want better players. I'm not out here saying we shouldn't get better players or deserve better players. But at the same time, it's the moments. I think John touched on it. We took too long. If we was going to make these changes, we've kind of taken too long to make these changes. And then we can't do it as, what is it? We got rid of Naby, Ox and Milner. And then to get rid of Fab and then Hendo in the same season, in terms of the same window, doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think, as I said, I don't mind keeping him this season. And then I think next season is where you go, okay, throughout the season, let's look at who we can give the armband to next. And then you can then start phasing him out. But yeah, to get rid of all of these players in the same season is crazy to me, man.
No, I agree with that. Right, yeah. Ryan, let's get you on. Ryan, how are you? There's always one in there. I knew it.
That's been a calling shows.
Knew it as well. You know what? I saw his name now. I went, I've recognised that name before. But then he was writing in the chat. So I'm thinking, maybe he's all right. Maybe
he's changed.
Yeah, and then no, it's a prick.
Oh yeah, Bobby as well. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Big up River Knight as well.
How many times? Big up. Baz, how you doing, man?
Yeah, big up, man. I'm just going to say it out there, I don't care, bro. You know what, Ryan? Bun you, bro. You're chatting bare crap in the private chat, and you're an idiot, boy. Don't ever come here again. Right, anyway, good evening, everybody. Sorry I missed the start of all of this, but obviously my brother's watching. Big up to him. Obviously, he was talking about the Hendo thing, yeah? So, look, all I'm going to say about the Hendo thing, is I'm just going to be blunt with it, yeah? Look, we've had so much time to prepare. We're a big club, yeah, and I've said this so many times, yeah. We're a big club. We're not an Aston Villa, and I'm sounding a little bit like Bruno, and big up to you, Bruno, yeah. But You know, we're a big club. We should be preparing for this. Yeah, we're not a small club, so we should have been preparing for the individualities and possibilities of players getting older, bringing them in, so we don't have this issue. You know, what we're talking about is, and I agree, you can't let go of every single experienced player. It just doesn't make, you know, if we get rid of Fabinho, Thiago, you know, all these like, you know, players with like stature and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not gonna, you ain't gonna win anything with young kids. I appreciate that, but for those who are really, really, really deeply in the Henderson thing, yeah, I'm not going to slate you guys, but what I'm going to say, right, is every player does have his day. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He's been a brilliant servant for Liverpool. Was he a Steven Gerrard? Definitely not. But he's won a Premier League. He's won pretty much a lot more than what Steven Gerrard has. But nevertheless, yeah, every player has his day. And we just need to accept that fact. You know what I mean? We are too sentimental, some of us. Some of us. Not all of us. I agree with the points that, you know, that, like I said, you know what I mean? You can't just get rid of them, you know what I mean? But when I think of certain things, like, who would you rather have? Would you rather have like a Hendo stay and get rid of an Adrian? Because they both, you know what I mean? It's like they're the older players, yeah, who do bring stuff into the team and stuff. I appreciate that. But, you know what I mean? It's like we got to be very smart with what we do as Liverpool, you know, within the organization, the institute, you know what I mean? Whether it's the coaches, whether it's the owners, whether it's Klopp himself, we've got to be a bit smarter, because I don't want Henderson's name to go down like this. You know, I don't want, you know, I am saying that I do want him to leave at some point. And it's just because that, you know, we need to evolve, we need to move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just not happy with the slandering. But at the same time, it's like, look, we can't be sentimental. We don't want no passengers. We do have to accept that we are a big team. We are challenging for like Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we just need better quality players. He had his, you know, he probably wasn't technically great, but at least he worked hard. At least he can put in a challenge. At least he can talk louder. You know what I mean? He had his qualities. But every, you know, and I don't mean in a disrespectful way, but every dog has his day. And you know what? It's his time now where I feel that he needs to be managed a lot now. He definitely needs to be managed, because I tell you what, I do expect him to start against Chelsea. And, you know, I mean, I expect him to start, and that's because of me personally. Would I start him? Not so, maybe not. However, I would want an experienced player now. I'd probably want a Thiago instead. Thiago playing against a Chelsea as opposed to a Henderson. So we have that experience. But at the same time, you know, we just got to manage him well. We've got to manage him well, and we've got to utilize him for the youngsters, you know what I mean? Like your Basetic of this world and stuff like that, you know, the players that are coming through. So we can use him. But, you know, in terms of like, if we do get a decent offer in for him, then we've got to assess it. Because if you get an offer for him or a Thiago, for example, then one of them has to go. I don't care who it is, whether it's Thiago, whether it's Hendo. If I could keep one of them, it will probably be Thiago, because I think he's a bit more gifted, and if we can just manage him well, then he won't break down all the time. And I know Henderson, he doesn't break down. He's always there and stuff like that. But what he offers us on the pitch, he can't do it anymore. And, you know, that's the only reason. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really a slander. So I don't know what you guys think about that. But Enz, I will say one thing though, bro. And it's not a slash at you, bro. But obviously I was watching, and like, you know, you were saying like, obviously Trent has, you know, come back looking good and stuff like that. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But bro, you see all this, like every season we see this, they, you know, the inside training when they come and they're looking good, they look happy. This guy looks a little bit better, or he's looking like he's more on it, stuff like that. Bro, I could go there and, you know, buff myself up and make myself look good and be up for it. And whether I play on the pitch and do the right things on the pitch is a different thing, innit? It's about that talking, innit? Like a different me, a new me and stuff like that. But you know what? Talk is cheap. Let it be on the pitch, innit? But I respect what you're saying. It's just that when I see that, I'm just more like, okay, good. I'm happy to see them. Let's see what they do on the pitch. And if he can do well, brilliant, bruvs. You know what I mean? The skin fade, the haircut from back in the day suits him. You know, the shoulders have gone good. You know, it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, that's me, bro.
Big up, bro.
Yeah, big up.
Big up, man.
Yeah, take care, guys. Smash a like, everyone.
Big up, man. See you later on.
See you later.
Yeah, man. Points there. Like it's been a great show. It's been a great show. Everyone coming with their thoughts on everything. Mostly Henderson, the Henderson situation there. And again, as I said, we've all got our opinions on it. As long as you can be respectful and give a good debate about your opinions, we're all good listening to it at the end of the day. If it's just abuse for abuse sake on a footballer that don't really deserve that abuse, that don't make no sense to me. Don't make no sense to me at all. You know, for me, is he good enough to still be here now? Probably not. But is it going to kill me that he stays here in the summer? If he goes next summer, no. You know what I mean? It's not going to be crying into my cornflakes in the morning. I know that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But Enz, thank you very much again for an excellent show.
That's great, man.
Appreciate it. Guys in the chat, appreciate it as well. Thank you very much to Super Chatters. Everyone commenting today, the likes, subs, all the good stuff, guys. Don't forget to go over and subscribe to Enz's channel as well. Get him up to that 1K. Enz, what you got coming on your shows this week?
At the moment, I haven't got anything up, man. I'm kind of just seeing how things go. Tomorrow, however, I don't know if you guys know, I've got 2 channels. So I've got one called The Day After Podcast. Tomorrow we're doing a Q&A show, so it would be, none of the football. If you want to talk football, you can, but we just chop up everything else that goes on, in your day-to-day life. So if you guys are free, you want to jump in and have a conversation, should be us and the girls over there, so it should be a great conversation there. And then in terms of my channel, it's Enzman TV, Psychedelic Big Up, and I saw Daz post it earlier. Nothing really at the moment, Jamie. I think I'm waiting to see what kind of happens. I'm looking forward to the preseason game, and then we'll chop it up. But in terms of the calling, we do our own calling as well. Me and Savage on Monday, 7 p.m. So if you guys want to come over there and vent as well, happy to listen. And then if you see me throw some stuff up, just turn the notification on. Subscribe if you want. You see, I'll bring up some shows as well coming up.
The way I do it. It's the way I do it, guys. Make sure you go and do that, guys. And many thanks for everyone joining us. Do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'll be back soon, guys. It's going to be a little bit in and out with shows because it is the summer and we're coming close to the summer holidays now with the family and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. You know what I mean? We're all, if your parents and all that, like me and Enz are, it's going to be difficult. So, just bear with us. Subscribe, hit the notification bell on, and as soon as I go live, you'll know straight away. So, big up to everyone. Appreciate it. See you later on. Bye-bye.
What's up?